The river of forbidden passion following the current of fragmented memories in Marguerite Duras' The Lover. Hello, I believe many people feel unexpectedly intimidated by the idea of reading. At the mere mention of it, some might feel it's complex or rigid, or they might experience vague fears about whether they are truly capable of reading such a book. However, reading isn't about studying for school exams or boasting about knowledge to others. Reading is the most intimate and powerful journey that helps us reflect on our own lives, understand the world, and sometimes discover hidden emotions within ourselves. Today, I'd like to talk about a book that can inspire a small courage to begin such a journey, Marguerite Duras' The Lover. This book has nothing to do with grand words like knowledge or cultivation. It simply presents raw fragments of the most intense and sorrowful memories of one person, laid bare before us. As we walk together into the current of these memories, we will discover parts of ourselves we never knew existed, or the complex layers of the world we inhabit. 1. The beginning of a forgetting-defying passion. The story and setting of The Lover. Marguerite Duras' The Lover, published in 1984, caused an international sensation and won France's prestigious Goncourt Prize. Beyond being merely a well-written novel, it closely resembles a memoir based on Duras' own life experiences. The story is set in Indochina, modern-day Vietnam, during the 1920s, amidst French colonial rule. A French girl named Ai is 15.5 years old, struggling to survive amidst a poor but domineering mother and two problematic older brothers. On a ferry returning home from school, she unexpectedly meets a 27-year-old wealthy Chinese man. He is elegant, refined, and drives a luxury car, epitomizing the upper class. Initially, the girl is drawn to him out of curiosity and a mysterious pull. The relationship that begins between the two challenges all social taboos of the time. It is between a white girl and an Asian man, a minor and an adult, and most significantly, between a poor French girl and a wealthy Chinese heir, insurmountable barriers of race and class. Despite these boundaries, they fall into a passionate and secretive love. The girl's family fiercely opposes the relationship, yet due to their financial difficulties, they cannot avoid relying on the Chinese man's money, making their relationship increasingly complex and tragic. Their meetings mostly take place in the Chinese man's apartment in Saigon, which becomes the only escape for the girl from the hellish routine of her daily life into a realm of desire and freedom. While they become deeply emotionally and physically entwined, the relationship is always shadowed by limitations of time and societal prejudice. Eventually, the girl must return to France, and the two face an uncertain and indefinite goodbye. Their final meeting and moment of parting remain an indelible memory for her throughout her life. The Lover narrates this revolutionary love story in a fragmented and poetic style. Rather than following a linear timeline, Duras recalls moments from her memory as if flipping through an old photo album, irregularly and unpredictably. These vivid, poignant, and sometimes cold descriptions of fragmented memories allow readers to vividly experience the depth of their relationship and emotions. 2. The complex face of love, desire, and loss. The questions raised by The Lover. The Lover is more than just a romance novel. It raises many questions and evokes deep reflections. Duras challenges our common understanding of love, and reveals the complex inner feelings of human nature as they are. 2.1. Where lies the boundary between love and desire? The relationship between the girl and the Chinese man in the novel appears more like a complex mixture of yearning and need rather than pure love. The girl finds refuge in her relationship from her poverty and family discord, seeking to affirm herself through her body. The Chinese man, despite his social status and wealth, seems to crave recognition from the white society and seeks validation through his relationship with a white girl. Rather than idealizing or condemning their relationship, Duras presents human desires in the most honest and raw way. Readers are left wondering, is this truly love? At the same time, it invites reflection on whether love must necessarily be pure and beautiful. Perhaps love itself is a complex blend of desires, deficiencies, and necessities. Through this ambiguity, Duras offers readers an opportunity to deeply explore the essence of love and desire. 2.2. the incompleteness and truthfulness of memories. Although the novel has a memoir-like character, Duras even calls her memories false. A paradoxical statement such as "this story isn't my real life, but it is a story of my real life" becomes one of the central messages of The Lover. Human memories become distorted, altered, and sometimes even idealized or diminished as time passes. However, Duras suggests that it is precisely these incomplete memories that form the most truthful fragments of a person's life. In the novel, Duras presents her childhood and memories in a fragmented way. Some parts are vividly clear, some are hazy, and some are even repeated. This narrative style makes readers feel as though they are stepping into the author's actual memories, while simultaneously prompting the question, how truthful is my own memory? It makes us think about how events in our lives, especially those with intense emotions, are reconstructed over time and how these reconstructed memories shape who we are today. 2.3. The shadow of family and the struggle of the individual. The girl's family is another important element in the novel. Her mother is helpless, her older brother is violent and cruel, and her younger brother is weak. The family provides no love or stability and instead becomes a source of pain and a prison the girl wants to escape. The mother's favoritism toward the older brother and the resulting violence cast a deep shadow on the girl's life. Within this familial environment, the relationship with the Chinese man becomes a form of escape for the girl. Through this relationship, she discovers her own space and desires, escaping the oppressive family environment. Duras unflinchingly reveals how violence and the absence of love within the family structure deeply impact an individual's life. This prompts readers to reflect on their own family relationships and consider how much healing and pain are created under the name of family. 3. Social taboos and human freedom. The implications of The Lover. The Lover goes beyond depicting a forbidden love of the past, offering insights into many aspects of our society and still delivering relevant messages in the present. 3.1. The lingering shadows of colonialism and racism. The setting of French Indochina in the novel reveals a slice of the historical period when European powers dominated Asia. White supremacy was deeply rooted in that era, evident in the girl's family who both mocks and despises the Chinese man while needing his money. They depend on his financial resources yet refuse to acknowledge his racial background or social status. Rather than directly criticizing this historical context, Duras indirectly illustrates how feudal barriers of race and class are through the forbidden love that blossoms within it. She conveys that before the fundamental human emotion of love, all social distinctions and prejudices become meaningless. Reading this book makes us reflect again on the various forms of discrimination and prejudice still present today. Are the criteria we use to evaluate people, such as race, nationality, gender, and economic capability, truly valid and humane? 3.2. Women's desire and agency. Duras portrays a girl who actively and honestly explores her desires, breaking away from the passive and obedient roles expected of women in society. Despite being only 15.5 years old, the girl explores her desires through her body and finds herself within that relationship. This is of great significance in discussing the sexual agency of women not only in her time but in the present day. The girl in the novel follows her emotions and desires regardless of surrounding opinions or societal prejudice. Although she also experiences pain and confusion, these experiences ultimately make her stronger and more independent. The Lover demonstrates that women's desires are not something to be hidden or ashamed of but essential components for understanding and growing as individuals. It prompts readers to question, how honestly am I facing my own desires? And am I rejecting my true self due to societal expectations? 3.3. Time and loss, and the poignancy of life. At its core, this novel is a story about memory. As it is structured as an older woman recalling the past, all narrative descriptions are infused with a sense of temporal distance and the poignant nature of loss. The passionate love eventually ends in farewell, and the young girl who lived through it becomes an old woman. Yet, the memory remains vivid and breathes deeply within her life, becoming part of her. Through a scene where, decades after the breakup, the Chinese man calls France and says, "I was your lover from your youth. I loved you. When I learned of your death, I loved you." Duras illustrates the timeless and transcendent nature of love. This reminds us that all the meetings and separations we experience in life, and the accompanying sense of loss, do not vanish but instead accumulate in us, making us grow and enriching our lives. Life is a continuous succession of farewells, and it is precisely this sense of loss that proves we are alive and have loved. 4. Reading a meeting with the self. Marguerite Duras's The Lover offers a precious experience that goes beyond reading a single book. It allows us to deeply examine our own inner world and understand the complex aspects of the world. While reading this book, you might feel uncomfortable or confused. You might find it hard to understand the characters' actions or feel awkward by the author's raw emotions. However, it is precisely at these points that the true value of the book shines. 4.1 Honesty and Courage. The Lover teaches us the courage to be honest. It is not easy to acknowledge your desires and emotions outside of societal norms or the expectations of others. Duras, by openly sharing her difficult past without hiding, encourages us to have the courage to do the same. You can gain the courage to accept that even the seemingly vulgar desires we experience in life are precious parts of ourselves. 4.2 Understanding Others and the World. While being a story of radical love, the novel is also intricately entwined with various social issues such as colonialism, racism, class conflict, and family problems. Through this book, we indirectly experience how an individual's life intersects with a broader historical and social background and how complex and multifaceted others' lives and emotions can be. This fosters a deeper understanding of those around us and helps us develop a broader perspective to view the diverse issues of the world we live in. 4.3 The Beauty and Tragedy of Life. The Lover presents the essence of life, where beauty and tragedy coexist. It tells us that our lives are a blend of passionate love and cruel family dynamics, beautiful scenery, and shadows of discrimination. It conveys the message that life is not always perfect or happy, but even within loss and pain, we can find beauty. This helps us maintain a positive attitude to discover the meaning and beauty in life amidst our struggles and difficulties. Reading should never be something forced or felt as an obligation. It is akin to an adventure into a new world. Marguerite Duras's The Lover is an excellent book to take the first step on this adventure. This book does not impose grand knowledge or cultivation upon you. It simply shares a deeply sincere story of one human being, offering you the opportunity to deeply reflect on your own emotions, memories, and life. I sincerely hope this book helps you realize that reading is not difficult, but a valuable experience that enriches and adds meaning to your life. Now, will you open the pages and step together into the river of forbidden passion and poignant memories? I encourage the emotions hidden within you to awaken through this book.